This is a silent film from Your Auto Advocate.
Yes, yes. Do you know why? Because this video is brought to you by, well, us.
Yeah.
And nobody but us.
Yeah, so actually, instead of doing a promo for someone else, although that does pay the bills, check out Deal School, link down below. We just launched that. 1,000 people signed up in the first 48 hours. Super cool, pretty incredible. It's 50 videos, 3 hours of curriculum, 6 quizzes, walks you through how to buy a car, the whole thing. It's me and my dad, Deal School down below. Market price report coming out in a couple weeks here. Our dashboard coming out in a couple weeks here. Video sponsored by us, links down below. Please click on them, go enjoy.
Deal School, get you a job selling cars and nothing else.
We've got actually a lot of emails from people saying, you know, I've thought about going into selling cars and now...
Don't.
Just don't do it. Okay, so title of today's video, what we're talking about is we're talking about the slowest selling cars. So if you look back in our video history, a couple weeks ago we did a video based off of the same research for the fastest selling cars from ISeeCars.com.
ICE? No.
ISeeCars.com. We're actually doing a podcast interview with the person who led the research study there, so check out the Auto Insider podcast as well. Super cool organization, awesome research that they do. And yeah, we were going to talk about the slowest selling cars today so that you can have a sense for, if you're in the market for one of these cars, you probably have a better chance of negotiating one of them than another.
Well, here's the funniest thing. The second line I highlighted in this, after it said slowest selling new vehicles. These slowest selling vehicles present savings opportunities for consumers as dealers will want to move these vehicles. So, if you are of the mindset that you need to save the most money you possibly can and drive the least desirable car in all the land, we have some opportunities for you.
And we've broken them out. Well, ISeeCars broken out, so we'll talk about, let's start with new.
Yes.
And then if you look down in the little like scroll bar on the video, I'll demark where we start talking about used in about 3 or 4 minutes. So you can skip to that if you're
interested. You think I can talk about this for 3 or 4 minutes?
I've got faith in us.
Okay, cool. So you know, the average days on lot for a dealer to sell new cars is 97 days. Okay? I'm going to give you 10 cars here where the shortest amount of time of those 10 cars is 150 days.
So that's number 10 on the list as well.
That would be number 10.
So we're going to go and... So this is like the Sports Center top 10.
Yeah.
I have not watched Sports Center in years.
Do they still do that?
I don't even know, but I'm going to find that and we'll put it up on the screen. So we did number 10 is 150 days. What vehicle is that?
That would be the Infiniti QX60. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, one of the high-end SUVs that nobody's really asking for.
My favorite thing about the Infiniti is because before I bought my Volvo, my dad brought home a... I don't know, I forget if it was a certified pre-owned, but he brought home an Infiniti.
No, it wasn't a certified.
It was just a used one.
It was just a used one with real low miles. And
my favorite thing about that car?
Yeah, was that you didn't buy it.
Yeah, that. And also, it had, I mean this in the least insensitive way possible, the clock that was in the center console.
Yeah.
Or like the center display.
Yeah. Like that's what they're known for.
Epitome of like grown man, like, which I am obviously not.
Okay, so you're driving an S90, which is the
it doesn't have a clock in the middle,
which is the epitome of a 90-year-old grown man. Stop it. Okay, so number 9 on the list. Okay, should surprise no one. The Land Rover Range Rover Velar.
That's a cool car, though.
Cool looking car. Only takes a little over 150 days to sell. And I have dear friends that own a Jaguar and Land Rover dealership, and well, I'm sure they can tell us horror stories about some of the Land Rovers.
Definitely. Okay. Yes. Number 8.
Well, you know what else they also own next to that Jaguar Land Rover dealership? A Cadillac dealership, and right there at $88,000 and 151 days to normally sell is the Cadillac Escalade.
Yeah.
Yes. Beautiful vehicle, doesn't seem to be in great demand.
Yep.
Okay, and then the next 2 on the list shouldn't surprise anybody.
Because, I looked down, no.
Because, well, they're made by Nissan. The Armada and the Nissan Altima both take a little over 151 days to sell.
Our dear friend Scotty Kilmer has warned the world
about Nissans. Yes,
don't buy Nissans.
Okay, and then number 5 on the list, we have a domestic vehicle, a Chevrolet Impala, ladies and gentlemen. But don't feel bad about that, because Chevrolet said they were discontinuing the car, and then I think they came back and said, on second thought, maybe we'll do it for another year.
Doesn't Aunt Doreen drive a?
Well, she does. Yeah. Yes, and I had to help her get that car.
Keeping the brand alive.
Yes.
All right. And how many days does it take?
That one only takes about 153 days.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you need a smaller pickup truck, a Nissan Frontier,
which they just discontinued production for Canada. I don't know if you read about that.
Yes, I was about to say that. It is
My
even
bad.
yes, you are. It is even less popular in Canada than it is here, and here it only takes about 158 days to sell. And I'm thinking in Canada it probably takes the CFL season and the NHL season combined to sell them.
All right, so
that would be quite the seasons.
That's number 3.
Okay, and then we have another domestic, the Buick Encore. I don't even know what the hell that is.
It's the small SUV. It competes with, like...
It doesn't really compete with anything because it's way too small.
Maybe like a Kia Sorento?
And it's... No, I don't think so. And it's way, way too ugly. In my opinion. Just in my opinion. That only takes 170 days to sell.
Okay.
So you're almost at a half a year to sell one of those.
So if you're in the market for a Buick Encore, disregard what my dad said about looks, you could probably negotiate a considerable amount more often. You know, on a Kia Telluride, for example. They don't compete with one another, but 3-row giant SUV versus...
you could fit the Encore in the back of the Kia Telluride.
All right, so what's the number 1?
No, number 2 on the list.
Oh, number 2, excuse me.
Okay, the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross small CUV, SUV, some kind of V. Okay, and it only takes almost 188 days to sell. But if you really want to save money and you really want to make your Mitsubishi dealer happy, go in there and tell them, hey, I'll do you a big favor. I'll take one of those Outlanders off your hands.
Yeah.
Okay, because those only take about 198 days to sell. That is more than 6 months worth of time. So... You know,
think about the floor planning cost.
I was going to say, think of the carrying costs that they have tied up in that vehicle, and think of how thankful they will be that someone's coming in and would offer them a substantial loss so that they can finally get the son of a bitch off their books.
Gotta blurb that. Okay, but if you are not familiar with why we're saying like carrying costs or floor planning, Deal School, link down below. Go watch it. I mean, this is a concept that you have to understand if you want to be an informed car shopper.
And if you don't want to be an informed car shopper, then by all means don't check the link down below. Don't go to Deal School, and don't watch any further videos of ours.
Yes, but give us a thumbs up, but like
absolutely, because we're here for you.
All right, so let's run through the slowest selling used vehicles.
Yes, and you know my dear friends that have the Land Rover.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Yeah. Well, lucky for them, 5 of the top 10 vehicles that are the slowest selling used vehicles in America today
are Land Rovers?
I'm afraid so.
What do we got? The Range Rover, the Velar, the Discovery, the Evoque.
No, the Evoque wasn't on there.
I can't even come up with any more Land Rover.
Well, here I'll come up with them for you.
All right.
The fastest selling of the group is the Range Rover itself.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, and then the next fastest selling, or the next slowest selling, would be the Discovery Sport.
Okay.
And then you have the Range Rover Sport.
Oh, gotcha. Different trim levels. Okay,
yes.
Gotcha.
And then at number 2, and only taking about 188 days normally in inventory to sell, is, well, the Velar.
Okay.
As a pre-owned vehicle. And then the slowest selling pre-owned vehicle in America today, at 200 days on average to sell.
Wow.
With an average selling price of just $46,000, is the always unpopular Land Rover Discovery.
You went about this in a very interesting way, because I now have no clue where any of the other ones slot in.
Okay.
But I guess we can just say, it's important to mention, the link to the ISeeCars research is also down below, so definitely click on that because you'll get the fastest and the slowest selling cars there.
Yes, and you'll be able to actually read them at your leisure.
Yes.
The number 3 slowest selling vehicle is the really always popular, and I know one of the most sought after SUVs ever in the history of humankind would be the Maserati Levante.
We see a lot of them down here. We're at the beach in South Jersey, and I see a lot of them down here at the beach.
Yeah, well, that's because, if you have a beach house, you have to have a Maserati Levante.
Yeah.
Or some other exotic.
It's like I couldn't afford a Bentayga.
Yes.
So I'll just get a Maserati Levante.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And if that doesn't work, well, then number 9 on the list would be the Alfa Romeo Stelvio.
Which is I think, a much more interesting SUV than the Maserati.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I would never own one. Unless it was under warranty the entire time.
Well, then that means it would have to be a lease.
Yeah, it would definitely be a lease.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, believe it or not, here's a car that's on here, and it's inexpensive.
Okay.
And it really is a hell of a car. And perhaps it's maybe one of America's best kept used car secrets.
Let's hear it.
And that would be the Kia Cadenza.
Yeah.
It's a little larger than what you would normally expect a Kia to be.
Is it a sedan or an SUV?
Yes, it's a sedan. And it's really a very nice car. And then there is 2 domestic vehicles on the list.
Yeah.
Because if the Escalade is a slow seller as a new car, well, lucky for my friends that have the Cadillac store, the Cadillac XT4 is one of the slowest selling pre-owned vehicles in America.
Yep.
And then Ford rounds out the top 10 with the EcoSport.
And so it's important, I just looked down, you highlighted it, the average time on lot for a used vehicle is a little under 70 days.
Yes.
And everything that we just described ranges from 110 days to 200 days.
Yes.
So again, this concept of carrying costs, and just click on the Deal School link and just go to that portion where it literally is, I think it's called floor planning. Just watch that one segment because then this will all make so much sense. These are the vehicles that you have the best chance to negotiate the most off on.
And if it doesn't make sense, well, I don't know what to tell you.
You're SOL, man.
Wow.
See that I didn't curse there.
SOL on your SUV or your CUV or
your ZDX or your CTX.
Or some kind of V, whatever that V may be.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. There you go. There's that research. Check out the links below. Do you want to do it or do you want me to do it?
Which was?
We'll link to the fastest selling. You're a little off. There you go. Get out of here. You know what? For all the dads out there that watch this stuff, you guys have dad hands, and I remember when I was younger, and my dad would just like tickle me, man, and like that. Like I couldn't don't do it. I couldn't stop it because you have those dad hands. But you have small hands, and you could. Anyway, links down below.
Dad hands.
All right. Thank you, Dad.
Thank you.